craft and agenda meeting dated August 11th, 2014. Flag salute by Ms. White.
Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call?
Mr. President, I wonder if we could do a moment of silence at this point for our state legislator, former state legislator, Tom Petrone, who passed away this past week. State legislator for almost 30 years, so could we have a moment of silence for Tom Petrone's memory?
Sure.
Rest in peace.
Thank you. Roll call, please?
Mr. Amendola.
Yes.
Ms. Amendola. Yes. Mr. O'Brien.
Yes.
Mr. Phillips.
Yes.
Mr. Post.
Yes.
Ms. Weitzel. Here. Mr. Hayes.
Yes.
Mayor Bloom.
Here.
Mr. Gazarovski.
Here. All right, I'll entertain a motion for the approval of the bill list dated August 11th, 2014.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion on the bill list? Hearing no discussion, roll call vote, please.
Mr. Amendola.
Yes.
Ms. Amendola. Yes. Mr. O'Brien.
Yes.
Mr. Phillips.
Yes.
Ms. Post. Yes. Ms. Weitzel. Yes. Mr. Hayes.
Yes. I will entertain a motion for the approval of the minutes dated July 28th, 2014.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion on the minutes? Hearing no discussion, roll call vote, please.
Mr. Amendola.
Yes.
Ms. Amendola. Yes. Mr. O'Brien.
No, I abstained because I was not here.
Mr. Phillips.
Yes.
Ms. Post.
Yes.
Ms. Weitzel. Yes. Mr. Hayes.
Yes. All right, now we'll go into citizens' comments. We have 3 people signed up. Some folks that came in late, do you wish to sign up for citizens' comments or no?
Yes, please.
All right. We'll start with Andrea Marquis. Please,
I actually decided to defer till the end, so I'll
Okay.
till then.
You can do that. All right. Eric
Bertram.
Bertram? Excellent.
One and half.
Just, if you would, step up to the microphone, state your name and where your address.
Okay.
And please speak.
Hi, my name is Eric Bertram from 231 West Steuben Street. First, I'd like to thank you for being responsive to my request to modify the crosswalk, if you remember that. So, because you're responsive to that, I think you'd probably be responsive to this. So, since Backbone Road has been paved, the amount of people speeding have gone up a little.
Or a lot.
So, yeah, it's been the problem with it has been getting worse. So, and many drivers don't notice McCormick, and we noticed that they hit the brakes like last minute right when they noticed that there's McCormick and it's an intersection. So, yeah. It's dangerous and unsafe because driveways are aligned on the road, so then when people or neighbors, whenever they back out onto the road, they start backing up, and while there's some people speeding, they speed by. Yeah, you can't really see the cars backing up. There's cars and trucks drive close to the property lines, like the picture on the bottom left. So, and plus many people like use the stretch for running, walking dog, going to the park, and things like that. So even though it's posted 15, we know that it's possible that they could get that the maximum speed is 25. And so with supervision, we marked off 100 feet of the road, and and then we measured the time that from when their front tire hits the front line to the back line, and from there we converted feet in seconds to miles per hour using some computer programs. So we noticed cars slow down slightly when there's people on the street, like walking the dog or just running. Yeah, or when they noticed us timing them. And at one part, there's a squirrel that crossed the road, and they slowed down for it. So basically, there are some excessive speeders. Like if you look on the pie charts on in the back, it's so the first pie chart is from when we first measured it, from 12 o'clock to 12:30, and then the one on the bottom is during rush hour, which is 4:45 to 5:30. And there's if you look at the pie charts, you'll notice that there's more than one or two people speeding. So some possible solutions are to build a sidewalk with a. So these are just some suggestions that we thought of. So some possible solutions. So one thing that we came up with was building a sidewalk with a wide buffer, which could be time-consuming and expensive. You could paint the road to narrow, hard travel lane, which based on weather can take some time sometimes. I guess. And some speed bumps or speed humps. And then just the plain old stop sign at McCormick and Backbone Road. And some paints on the road to say slow or other street markings like that. So any comments, questions, concerns?
I anticipated this. People come in and complain when the street was full of puddles. Okay, now you repair the street, and I knew there would be, you would come in and want to talk to me about the speeding. Okay, and I agree with you. There's some restrictions that the borough has that they can and can't do for speed calming. I had suggested before this project began to install road humps near McCormick. Unfortunately, there were only 2 installed, and they were at the previous locations near the park.
Okay.
There had been discussion about the narrowing of the lanes. Now that, I think, is possible to create a bike lane, take some of that, the width of the street and narrow it down towards, let's say, the cliffside, and use, and make a walking lane or pedestrian lane. But that would have to be, I think that would have to be checked out whether that's legal to do under PennDOT standards? I can't answer that
That was,
question.
that was underway with Jamie and the engineer. I don't know how far they got into that, but the last I had spoken to them, it is possible, and they were moving forward with it. So I'll make sure that gets transitioned to the interim manager. We'll get at least that. The idea being, they want to have a connectivity. There's actually a grand hope that we can connect from there all the way to the city past the Clearview Trail, when they finish the trail that goes all the way down into the west end. But they were gonna paint a bike path, I don't know how many feet it is, but the road is oversized for what it needs to be for single travel, single direction. So they decided it was feasible. I'll see where they are with it.
Another item was the, we're gonna get the speed trap lines, the speed lines painted, get them marked, and then Public Works will get them to stripe both Backbone and Woodlawn Avenue, so we can run effective speed timing on the road. And you did the conversion,
Yeah,
okay?
just a rough estimate.
Okay, so you can see, and unfortunately, and I have to say this almost every time, you can't legislate stupidity against stupidity. So caution errs on the side of pedestrians. You know, you can make the speed limit 15, you can paint lines, but that doesn't physically control the driver behind the vehicle. And that's unfortunate. And you see that every day on the news, that people do stupid things on a highway and hurt themselves or others. Well, we're gonna make an effort, at least through the police department and public safety, is to go ahead and, get the lines painted, and I'll have the officers down there doing speed timing. And again, I would request council, as I did last year, the installed speed humps that are evident up at the McKenna Avenue Green Tree. They're black and yellow, they're easy to see, they're not a risk to somebody that would be traveling way too fast. I mean, it's not gonna rip the bottom of their car, but you're gonna know you went over a speed hump. And when you see them, you know, that tends to break the speed limit. I asked for those, they haven't made it yet, I'm gonna keep trying. The ones that are installed above Duncan Avenue and towards Broadhead, as of 4 or 5 days ago, they haven't been painted, so you can't even see them. There is a sign behind the tree, so hopefully I'll talk with Public Works and get those marked. But I'd like to see the council approve getting another speed hump down installed near McCormick Street, you know, as well as narrowing the lanes. And just putting those in may help the residents down there. And I knew this was gonna be a problem, so I was, you know, hopeful that, you know, that this had been taken care of during the project, but it wasn't. So you're in charge, you let me know how it's going. I'm gonna get it marked and painted. And then just, you guys that live down there, keep me posted on how it's going. And I'll talk to the chief of police, and we'll get some speed timing going down there and citations issued. And also, if you have a large abundance of larger vehicles, now that street is not rated for anything other than cars, pickup trucks. So if you have school buses that are just using it to transit the area, I mean, in other words, they'll come down, cross the Thornburg Bridge, and they'll walk back road all the way to Hawthorne and get on that bus garage. That's not permitted, okay? And we've dealt with the school bus garage that's down on Churchers Avenue before about that issue. So if it starts up again with school, let me know.
So the truck in the picture's not supposed to be there?
What is it?
FedEx, it looks like. No, they're not supposed to.
No. So
UPS goes through
those
the
items, that one, and
That Mike
I would
Sears?
say
They're
would be
delivering
borderline.
there.
Is that Mike Sears?
Don't start, okay? But I do want to know, because it's going to help. You know, that roadway's, you know, being resurfaced like that's probably 10 years, but maybe we can do something, you know, to get another speed hump.
Tim, can we get some input from Public Works? Maybe he has some ideas that he could help us with.
Yeah, Mayor, to be honest with you, I travel that road. The first day that I was living in the area. I traveled at 15 miles an hour, probably had 3 cars behind me ready to, give me the horn. But I noticed the speed on right away, needed mark. I checked with the interim manager, because I was gonna have our guy do that right away, because of, safety concerns. And it was my understanding the contractor's responsible for the line, the markings. So I met with Gateway Engineers today to discuss that with them, since they were the project managers, and reiterated that we need those markings done as soon as possible on the backbone.
Okay.
So, and we talked about the trail too. President, we talked about the trail and continuation of, like the mayor said, continue up all the way to Clearview, or Kraken Boulevard to where it meets the city line at Crotzer. And eventually, I think the city plans to continue that whole trail into the west end, to the west end bridge, connect to the trail across the North Shore. But that was all discussed with Gateway as far as the master plan for the recreation on the trails.
Good, thank you. All right, Mr. Bean, keep me posted.
Okay.
Mom has my email address.
Okay, thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
One more thing, Mr. President. That street, is it posted, weight limit on that street? No weight limits
No,
posted?
there's no weight limit.
No trucks permitted?
Correct, there's nothing
No,
like
nothing.
that.
There
No.
was a no truck sign.
There's a
there
truck-
was
no truck sign.
down
There's no truck signs down there.
I mean,
at the entrance from Steuben.
the entrance,
Because I don't
There
remember
were
seeing
one on each side of the roadway.
Perhaps we need to check the foliage around, because as you were saying, the road hump sign, I did notice is practically covered, so perhaps we need to make sure that our signs are visible.
Yeah, because
Because I drive that every day.
no trucks is a wide variety.
That's what speed.
You might want to put a weight limit sign on there also to restrict any certain weights that you do not want on that street.
And I would maybe encourage Mayor or somebody, Mayor yourself, talking with Cora Bruce at the high school, because she does the transportation, so that she can reroute her buses.
Well, it's not them, it's First Student that doesn't even handle part of it, is the offender.
So, Mr. Kozarowski, would you take this up with the interim borough manager, see if the signs are covered or not covered, see if the signs are adequately marked with trucks and or weight, and see what we're entitled to do.
I mean, that's a responsibility we can take to public works. We'll make sure that everything is visible. The VASCAR, I call them VASCAR lines, the chief of police gave me the lines that requested for us to paint for the different locations throughout the borough. Actually, we wanted to start that today, get the crosswalks done before school starts and the speed lines. I always call them VASCAR lines, I don't know if that's the proper terminology, but that was gonna begin today. Unfortunately, the weather didn't work against us, so they'll be starting that tomorrow, the crosswalks and the speed line for the police department. And I'll definitely look into the signage, make sure there's appropriate signage there with no trucks or limited access, whatever needs to be done, and the weeds cleared around the speed line signs.
Okay, thank you. All right, next on our list is Desmond Carrada.
Yes, that's Florida. Yes. It is in the class and then the city was
Just go to the microphone, please, and state your name and address, and what your comments are.
So I'm Desmond Florida from 294 Clafton Boulevard. Should probably wait till November pass out. So my house is along Clafton Boulevard.
Microphone, please.
My house is along Clafton Boulevard where a lot of cars speed. Well, my family says a stop sign would help decrease the speeds of cars, and as Eric said about McCormick, it would keep from a potential crash. The picture says that McCormick and Backbone on a right angle, so it's hard to see the other road before you have to immediately hit the brakes. And for speeding cars, that may be too hard for them to do. And it's impossible for people who live on the, if they kick a ball out of a fence or something, it's just about impossible for them to retrieve it because of all the cars. And we've seen a lot of people walk and run across, and that seems to be the only time when they're not speeding cars. Only 40 of the 60 of the 105 cars, they, I don't know how to put it, well, timed for speeding, but many of them braked when they saw them watching them, so they wouldn't get in trouble with anyone. So a stop sign on either Backbone or McCormick could stop cars crashing into each other, or a halt in the traffic. Because Backbone is kind of like the backbone of Crafton. It goes all along the, from really nowhere to, well, way past. I saw part of it in near Pittsburgh, so it runs a long way and connects a lot of homes. If well, most of the cars being there on, oh, whoops, so a stop sign or two on Backbone will slow down and stop a potential crash anywhere where you. So
Okay, thank you.
So is that what you would like us to look into
Yeah.
a stop sign? Okay.
or any other potential way to keep cars from over speeding.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Last we have Philip, sorry.
Yeah, actually, may I cede my time to Susan Muka, please? Is that possible?
Can you do what?
May I cede my time to Susan Muka, please?
She can sign up, but yeah, you can't cede your time. She can
Okay.
sign up.
Okay.
It's fine.
How do I do that?
This sheet of paper.
Oh, okay.
Great job, guys.
Okay, just please state your name and address, and you have 3 minutes. Thank you.
My name is Susan Mucha, M-U-C-H-A. I live at 269 Clearview Avenue. And I have a question on the Clearview Harris Storm Sewer Project, specifically the Harris Avenue curves. On the drawing on the front, which is not to scale, I'm not an engineer, has clear views at the top of the page, And in black, it shows the parts of the curves that have been redone. And the red part, or pink, shows the part of the curb that was not addressed during this project. It's about a 40 to 50 foot section, I'm not exactly sure, but I have to say that it gives the project an incomplete look, having that one section incomplete. Plus, as you can see by pictures 2 and 3, you can see the deteriorated condition of the curbs in that area. The first picture gives you an overview so that you can see both sides of Harris Avenue going down towards Clearview. And on the right-hand side, it's going to be complete. The curbs are in, they're working on the bricks, but on the left-hand side, it's been left undone. And pictures 2 and 3, as I said, show the terrible condition of that road. So, in addition to looking incomplete, it's probably fairly unsafe. Now, I have 3 questions. Is there a reason that it was left undone? What can we do to have this 40 to 50 foot section of Harris fitted with a new curb to complete both sides of Harris? And can we complete that construction this year?
Okay, we'll take your questions up with the engineer.
Okay, and then I have a follow-up from the last meeting on the Clearview trail trees that have been compromised by Gateway Engineering and Marante Construction. How are we going to handle the tree loss that we could possibly sustain over the next 5 years because of the damage they did to the root systems of those trees?
Well, they're responsible for, the work area now, so I don't know how it translates after the project completes, but we can take it up with the engineer as well.
Trees don't die instantaneously.
I understand.
If they did, we'd have something to work with right now. But it takes trees a long time to die. It took, a lot of the trees in that area, they're probably anywhere from 10 to 30 or 40 years old. They're not young trees that were decimated. Well, the young ones are totally gone, but the larger ones that were there, they're damaged. You have the pictures from last week that shows the damage. I'll get you some of the pictures.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, you did get them?
There was an
Okay.
email, I saw an email.
I can send an email.
Well, I got it, I did see pictures of some
Okay,
damage.
okay,
They
Okay.
were passed on.
okay, great, okay. Thank you very much, that's all I have today.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Okay, Mark Schuster with eCollect has an update.
All right. Tax part, this is the exciting part. On there. One. So I just wanted to give you folks an update on what we've been working on. I know there's a lot of transition going on in the borough, so we're just going to do our best to just communicate with everyone that needs to be kept in touch. There was a little bit of a discrepancy of what, when eCollect came in to do delinquent business privilege tax and mercantile tax, what that encompassed. And I guess there was a go back and forth with Jordan Tax on when that period should begin. And they felt, or they maybe misunderstood that it would begin in 2015, being that, the contract was signed in 2014, so you've got to go through the whole year, wait for 6 months or whatever. To me, money is money and delinquents are delinquents. So if somebody's even delinquent back in 2011, 2012, 2013, maybe they didn't know about it, but we need to get the money. What we found in working with all the other cities is you look at the 3 classifications of taxes, the properties, the businesses, and the individuals, they are related. Landlords are a business. And we have about 2,200 properties, roughly. We're at 43% rentals. So if you take, just do the math, it's about 1,000 apartments. So we figure, 1.5 people per, and you do the averages of what their average salary would be. But what we're finding is, no matter how good any earned income tax collector is, they're missing people that are moving into the apartments, maybe staying 1 year, staying out. We have 1,000 apartments, we're missing people. So we found out that, Jordan and Jamie ironed it out, and Jordan said, yeah, we could start collecting delinquent taxes as soon as 2013 is done. We got the go-ahead from them